Hey, I'm Arden Kaywin, and welcome to the Pro Singer Success Collective. Today, we're going to be talking about why practice does not inherently make perfect. Hey, so I'm super excited to talk about this topic today because I can't tell you how many times a singer has said to me, well, I'm going to get where I want to go because I'm practicing all the time and I'm doing it. And if I just keep practicing, then I'm going to get where I want to go. And I'm on the other, end of this conversation, having gotten a lot of data from them about where they are in their career, and they're not going to auditions. They don't have any records released. They haven't performed. They're not getting paid. And it's been that way for 10 years. But yet they think if they just keep practicing, they're going to get there. And so here today is why I want to talk to you about this idea that practice does not make perfect inherently. And I know we're told that. I know it's something that society has set up for us. Most of our education has set up for us that if you just practice, you'll get it. And there are three big reasons why, for singers, that is just not true. And here is what I have learned about that in my 25 years of experience as a professional singer and working with singers to help them create elite careers. There are really three big reasons. So let's start with the first one. The first reason is that you practice doesn't matter. How you practice absolutely matters. So, when I was in my younger training, a young singer in my early 20s, I used to just, blaze up and down the scale. And that was my practice. And that was my warm up. And that was like what I would do. It would just be like doing the exercises by rote, to kind of warm my voice up and get myself into the entirety of my range. And then I'd go to sing and whatever repertoire I was doing or whatever I was rehearsing. And I would still be really frustrated that a lot of the technique issues that I'd been struggling with never seemed to get better, never seemed to really go away. And that was because the way that I was using my practice was really just reinforcing all of those bad habits. And so, how do you practice in a way that isn't just you reinforcing and practicing in all your old bad habits? And so, it starts with how your teacher is training you. So, if you go to your voice lessons and your teacher is, well, number one, if they're not doing any vocalises and scales and technique exercises, if all you do is launch right into your repertoire, that doesn't serve, go get another teacher. If you go into your lessons and you're doing technique exercises, but you're just, you're blazing up and down all of these exercises, and your teacher is not stopping you during these exercises to make corrections and point out the difference between what is efficient and what is not efficient, and show you how to feel that in your body, in your instrument, so that you have a very specific sensory experience of what the inefficient feeling and sound is and what the efficient feeling is. If your teacher is not guiding you to understand and know that, then you're just going to take these exercises into your own practice and you're just going to practice them in the way that is habitual for you. You're not going to realize that you're not doing it the right way, and then things will never change. So it's your teacher's job to, in those lessons, point out, okay, you're losing your support here. So here are some ways, and get in the hood, we get under the hood with you in that exercise for you to be able to understand, have the sensory acuity feeling in your body, create that muscle memory so that you know what the feeling of the good technique is, so that when you go into your own practice, you're actually practicing the new thing because you know what it feels like and you know how to find it in your own practice. If your teacher is not teaching you that, then all you're going to do is continue to practice in all those bad habits, and you're shelling out a lot of money for voice lessons, but nothing is changing. And you're getting frustrated because you're practicing and yet nothing is changing, and you're not seeing the results either in the speed that you would like or at all. And now you start to think maybe it's you, maybe you're not good enough, and it just goes to this place, which is just totally not necessary. Okay. So, how you practice matters, and that is 100% set up by your teacher being able to elucidate in that lesson the feeling of what is efficient and the feeling of what is not, so that you know in your own practice if you're just practicing in all the old bad habits, or if you understand the new sensation and the right sensation, and then you can practice that in over and over again. Okay. So again, how you practice matters, not that you practice. Okay. Because we just don't want you to be practicing in all the inefficient stuff that's just going to keep you stuck. And then what you're doing is you're making those old habits and bad habits stronger and harder to break over time. Okay. So how you practice matters, not that you practice. Okay. The second thing that is a huge reason that practice does not always make perfect is when you intellectually understand the technique that you should be using, but in the moment of singing, your brain sabotages it. So maybe you've all had this moment where, like, intellectually you absolutely understand what your teacher's asking you to do, and you go, and you go into your own practice, and like intellectually what you need to be doing with maybe the muscles of your support, or with your resonance and your soft palate, or whatever it is you're working on. You get it. You know it intellectually. Yet in that moment of practice, your brain goes into that mode of, it's like, it's too hard, it's too scary, I can't. And even though you know what you should be doing in that moment, your body, it is like, no, too scary, can't, no, right? And then if you keep practicing in that way, then all you're all you're really doing is reinforcing those beliefs every time you practice. Every time you get up into the higher part of your range in vocalises, you're just reinforcing that fear, or that belief that it's too hard, or that belief that it's all the things that we get in our head about when we sing. Okay. And so if you intellectually understand, but your brain is sabotaging and you don't have a way of getting beyond that, then every time you practice, you are just reinforcing those sabotaging beliefs, and you will not see results, because it doesn't matter if you know it intellectually. You have to be able to, what's the phrase? Get out of your own way enough to actually do it. But if you don't have those tools in the moment of practice, then things will just stay where they are. And so this is the third reason why practice does not always make perfect. And this is because 90% of you, 95, 99% of you are practicing skill set without mindset. And you know me, this will go on my gravestone. Changing thinking changes singing. It is that simple. Your body is only going to do what your brain is telling it. And your body cannot do what your brain is sabotaging. And so in that moment that you're practicing, if you are training in a way that only addresses your skill set, which is your technique, then you have all these technical tools, assuming that your teacher is doing the first thing that I said, which is being able to elucidate for you the sensation and the feeling and how to use your body in the effective, efficient way for the technique, versus being able to show you what you're doing in real time in the exercises that's not efficient, and being able to help you translate that into your repertoire. Your teacher's doing that, but you don't have a mindset that you're practicing along with it, then you're going to go into these exercises and the mindset's going to sabotage the skill set, and you're going to be stuck. And you're not going to have an efficient practice. And practice will not make perfect because, like I said, all you're going to be doing is reinforcing the mindset that that's going to keep sabotaging the technique. And so it's like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. I mean, how many of you feel like your practice over time has been that way? And it just feels like like progress is just like really, really slow. And you need both. You need to practice skill set with mindset. You need both a rock solid skill set and tools for a rock solid mindset that supports it. Because otherwise, it's like the analogy I like to give is like it's like you're filling the sink with the drain open. So nothing sticks. It's like you're getting all this information, but it's not going to stick. It's not going to be used. It's just going down the metaphoric drain because you don't have the mindset to support it. And yes, you can do it this way. And it could take you years, if not decades, to see the results that you want. This is why I am not a fan of traditional training because it can take years, if not decades, to get the transformation, to get the results that you want that are going to go give you the big career that you really want because you're able to sing in a way that merits it. And so you need both, and you need to be able to practice skill set with mindset because otherwise, like I said, you're just filling the sink and the drain is open. And so what does it mean to practice mindset in the context of singing? You'll know what it means to practice skill set, right? Like, you're doing your scales, you're doing your vocalises. Hopefully you have a good understanding of what the inefficient feeling is like versus the efficient feeling. And your teachers are very good about doing this. And if they're not, go get another teacher. That is what you are paying for. You are paying for somebody to help you understand the difference between what it feels like to do what the old habit is, what it feels like to do it the efficient way, the new habit. Okay. So you understand what practicing skill set is. Practicing your breath support, your resonance, being able to, get up into the full scope of your range really smoothly, being able to transition registers really smoothly. But brings up a really great example of where skill set without mindset will not allow for the kind of results and the kind of, ability to really sing at an elite level that you want. And that's transitioning registers. So for women, from chest voice to head voice. For men, from head mix into falsetto. If you're a guy who sings in falsetto, transitioning between registers is the place that is like technically the most sticky for most singers. And it is, yes, there is a skill to it and you need that. But there also is a big component of that is mindset. And so understanding that switching between registers maybe brings you some anxiety, brings you some fear. Maybe you have some beliefs or expectations. Going to head voice is hard, or, transitioning down, I always crack. Or, so these are the things that have happened in the past that you expect to happen, that you brace yourself for. And all of these thoughts and all of these expectations and these beliefs, they live in your body because your body is only ever responding to what's going on in your mind. And so now as you approach the transition, you brace yourself for a second. There's that little second of like, going to head voice or going back to chest voice. And now you've created the wonky transition that you were scared of in the first place because your mind sabotaged your body from doing it because of what it creates in your body, which is usually a holding or a forcing or an over control because you want to get it right and you don't want it to sound bad. I talk about this a lot. It's that negative feedback loop. But the irony is that all that over control, all that fear, or if you're somebody who, whose fear reaction is to flee, right? Fight or flight, then you let go and you take your foot off the gas, so to speak, in the terms of how you're engaging with your instrument and your support and everything. And either way, now you've created the wonky transition that you were scared of in the first place. You've cracked, or you've not been able to get to the next register in a way that's smooth and powerful. And now you're just reinforcing more fear, more anxiety around it, right? Because that fear was actually what stopped you from engaging with the efficient technique in your body in the first place. So when it comes to things like that, we have to address conditioning the mindset as well as conditioning the skill set. And this is hard to do on your own because 9 times out of 10, you're too close to all these things in your mindset to really see them. And so you will walk into these walls every single time because you don't have just enough distance and perspective to see the wall that you're about to walk right into. And that's just how it works with mindset, unfortunately, is that we're very rarely able to see our own blocks and patterns and potholes and walls. And so this is why we do what we do in my program, is to be that guide for singers to be able to shine that light on what's going on so that you don't have to keep walking into the same walls, walking into the same potholes. And then you start to think, well, it's me. I'm not good enough. My voice isn't good enough. My talent isn't good enough. I'm not XYZ enough. And you start making all of these stories about why you're not making it, why you're not successful, when really it's just that you've never had somebody come in and help you to support your mindset so that when you're practicing your skill set, it's not getting in the way. And so what we teach our singers is a really powerful way to practice their mindset in the context of their singing practice. Because you can get like a lot of tools around mindset practice when it comes to just day-to-day life, be it through meditation, through other mindset practice courses and things like that. It might be through therapy, it might be through CBT and other things. Like there are lots of ways, but the problem is that none of them for singers actually teach you how to engage with that in the moment of singing and with respect to what is actually going on in your mind and body with your technique in that moment of whatever it is you're practicing. And so you can continue to try to do it piecemeal and try to, you know, work a skill set and work a mindset independently. And you might get some wins here and there, but it takes a really long time. And for most of you, I know you feel the pressure of time. I know you feel that you do not want to waste one more minute when you could be out there performing, making an impact, and making a big income with your gifts. If you could just get past this stuff. So don't practice anymore unless you have a very powerful awareness of how to practice, like I was saying, unless you understand how to practice your skill set and your mindset at the same time so that you're going to get fast results that are going to be able to take you where you want to go in your singing, because now you're able to sing at that elite level to be able to get those opportunities. And so if you'd like our help to be able to integrate mind and body, to be able to integrate skill set and mindset, teach you how to practice more powerfully, teach you how to perform more powerfully, because you understand how these things are related in your own experience in the moment of singing and in the moment of performance, then book a call with us. And we'll get on the phone for like 45 minutes, maybe an hour, and we're going to talk about all the things that are going on in your singing, all the things that you feel are still not the way you want them to be in terms of your sound, your impact, your performance, all the things that you've been doing and trying and working that just haven't been able to get you to that elite level to be able to create that career and that income, and the gap from where you are to where you want to go. And if I think that we can help you, then I'll share what that looks like. And if you'd like our help to do it, then I'll share what that looks like. And if not, that's okay too. The point of this call is to be able for you to understand clarity on all of these things, and for us to be able to share with you the exact strategy that we use with our singers that gets them past these things that have been stopping them from getting results from their practice, getting results from their auditions and performances and recordings and all these things, so that then you understand exactly what you need to do to get to your goal. And then, like I said, if you'd like our help to implement that, then we can talk about that. And if not, that's okay too. Now, I want to be really clear that this call is not for everyone. This call is only for real and serious singers who are out there hustling and performing and recording and auditioning and really out there doing the things to make this career happen and just not seeing the results of it at the level that they want yet. This call and this work is not for you if you are just wanting to sing better at karaoke or sing better at your cousin's wedding or something like that. Okay. So if you are a singer who is serious and real about what you are creating in your singing life, and you are doing that now, you're in that hustle now, and you are somebody who must be willing to invest time and money and energy to get to your elite singing career. Because if you're not, willing to invest in these things, guys, the singers who are making it at that elite level who we work with are doing so because they invested time and money and energy to have that career. So if you're not willing to invest in order to have that career, then we can't help you anyway. So if you are someone who is serious and who is willing to invest to have the career and the life that you really want, then book a call with us. You'll see the link if you're watching on YouTube on the screen after the video. You can click on the screen to book a call, or if you're watching on Facebook, just look in the chat and the link to book a call is right there in the chat. And don't hesitate, don't be shy. If you've been watching my videos for a long time and maybe you know that this work could be instrumental for you, but you just aren't sure about reaching out, just reach out. Like, we're here to help you and to help you understand the strategy and that there is a different way to succeed. So go ahead, book that call, and I will see you at the next episode of the Pro Singer Success Collective. Bye. Hey guys, thanks for tuning into today's episode. If you want to subscribe, click the link right over there that says subscribe. And if you want to book a breakthrough session with me, which you absolutely should do, then click the link right over here that says book a call to schedule an appointment to speak with us. I'll see you on the next episode.